measurement, it should be on a spectrum.
Yeah.
It's not a KPI.
Yeah.
When I say a spectrum is a lot of people get caught up in the media math, impressions, clicks, viewer completion rates. In some facets, those are what I call vanity metrics. And vanity meaning people pump those to make them look good to hand over a report that looks amazing, has nothing to do with revenue return. And I have to remind people like every business is in business to make money. If it's not, it's a nonprofit. Nonprofits still got to make money.
Yeah.
So when you're starting to look at that, the ultimate measurement is we spent this amount of money. This is the revenue return we got. Now, the stuff in the middle is important because it speaks to the health of your spending. Like looking at a healthy CPM, not an egregious one. Looking at a healthy response rate so that you're actually, there's semblance that you're targeting the right people. Looking
Yeah.
at viewer completion rate to validate that you didn't put together a piece and an execution that sucked, that you're putting together that's something that is of value. But it's really on a spectrum. You have your media math in terms of is the buy healthy and smart. You have your lower funnel activity that's like, okay, people hit the website. What did they do when they got there? Did they click on a few pages? Did they click a few buttons that are great measures? These idea of signals, like what are they telling us? And then you have the outcomes. Did we sell, convert, generate revenue, get lift? So the spectrum, measurement to me of success is on a spectrum. It's not a number. It's not one tactic. It's not one thing. And I've listened to people say, "Oh, we're going to measure click rates and impressions." I'm like, you're supposed to do that. Those are table stakes.
Yeah.
But a top marketer has to create value for the company by moving the business, moving product, because he's accountable to bottom line revenue, profitability, shareholder value, all these things. And if a top marketer is responsible for that, so is the agency and so is a media partner because he's technically your boss. He's the check writer. And I watch people not understand what a CMO or VP of marketing is up against. And I always want to know, like, and that's why I studied the CMO suite because I want to know what they're being tasked with because everything we do should ladder up to that because these people got to get into boardrooms and answer questions around investment spending and why they're not making the money. And I think what agencies and media partners think is that they're indemnified. Like, that's
Yeah.
not my solve. That's not my job. I don't have to worry about that. And it's like, no, clients are always moving money. And they're moving money because what they've been doing, they realize isn't working. And they move the money 6 months before they tell you. They'll move the money in the agency 3 months before. They're like, what happened? Oh, we had budget cuts. No, you didn't have budget cuts. You put it in somewhere else because you didn't like everything we're doing. And they'll move it in the eyes of a media partner 6 months in advance. And people are like, yeah, our budgets are down this year. I'm not going to hit my sales goal. I'm like, yeah, because they started moving the money 6 months ago. And people have to recognize that if you aren't measuring success on a spectrum, the money will always be moving one way or another. And that is why you got to make sure you're delivering against a multitude of things. The other thing is there's no one stakeholder on the client side. You have a CFO who's looking at value and spend or controller. You have a CMO who's looking at market activity. Are we creating more long-term customer value? Are we acquiring more customers as a base? Are we getting more subscribers? Then you have procurement people who are looking at process and procedure, and are we overrunning how we're planning? I mean, you have to satisfy all of these people because they all in one day get in a room and make a decision. And I think that's the other thing that people don't think about. They think they're satisfying metrics for one individual, and it's really a multitude of individuals who are involved in the decision process.